Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
The following audio and video festival of wit, charm, good looks, and humbleness is the property of Dave and Juan Enterprises. Any unauthorized rebroadcast or reproduction of this program is just dumb, seriously, ignorant. But knock yourself out. They really don't care. Maybe you can do better. This is Dave and Juan. Oh!
Andre.
Number 2.
Always followed by 1.
Woohoo!
Hey, I can feel the gratitude coming.
Dude,
man,
yeah, we need it. The world needs gratitude this week.
all across the fruited plain. I can feel it. So, hey, as always, I mean, you don't need to, America, but we appreciate it. America, you're welcome. You're welcome. We are back. I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Yes, thank you. We're just chatting briefly before we came on about some of the things going on this week, and big stories, little stories, but I think no story is bigger than the fact that your wife has gone through with it.
Right. She got the wrist tattoo.
She got a wrist tattoo. So congratulations, Joey. Did she pass out? She was good?
No, it wasn't bad.
Okay. All right.
It's actually I've talked before that, she was just going to pop into some random place. And I said, well, you got to go check the places out. And so we went last Saturday afternoon after having been at a swim meet most of the day.
Yeah, it's a good time to do it.
And we go to the first place and I'm tired, man. I don't feel like doing this stuff. And so it's like going to a used car place or any car dealership, because the tattoo quote unquote artist says, well, okay, I can take you now. But if you don't go now, it's going to be 2 weeks before I can take you. And any of the other people here are booked through January.
Really? That's where you want to. I bet that's not true, bro. Yeah. So we just happened to catch the magic window right here.
We got it right here. You got about 3 minutes to decide.
Oh man.
So I said, well, could we at least see some of your work?
Dude, I paid money to watch a video of you shopping, negotiating with a tattoo, air quotes, artist.
Yeah. And the funny thing about it is, so you're sitting in the lobby, and it looks like it's a clean place. They've got what apparently is now like a trend where you get this fake greenery on a wall and put like a neon light sign on that. I'll send you a picture of that. We have one. But right. They've got music in the lobby.
Nice.
Definitely not there to calm you down. I don't know if it was death metal or speed metal, but dude, it was like, this is a bit soothing.
Of course, back in the day, our great grandparents probably thought Elvis was speed metal, right? Yeah. I mean, it's right. But I know what you're saying. It wasn't like you were in a grocery store where they're playing your jams. You know what I mean? Like that's sort of where we are right now. Grocery stores moving into like elevators, right? They're playing our jams. They're playing the 80s, maybe some late 70s, but not in the tattoo. Do they still call them parlors? Is it still called a parlor?
I don't know. I just call it a shop. And I've watched several seasons of Ink Masters, so I am a tattoo aficionado. I knew to see if she could pull a straight line and without any blowouts or anything like that.
I want to say my mom was a loyal viewer of Ink. She watches all that. I mean, but I'm almost positive my mom was a loyal viewer of Ink Master. It
was an interesting show.
All right, so
we got the tattoo, and it says,
what's weak?
It's just text. It says Says, oh yeah.
we got the tattoo.
She got the tattoo. It says choose joy. Because she wants that to be her, I guess, her thought or her positive vibe for this point in life.
You have to have told her, honey, you already did.
That's right.
Look,
that's right.
Look what you get to wake up next to every day. You already chose joy.
But then a couple of days later, she's thumbing through one of her text groups that complains about life and everything. And I said, are you choosing joy right now?
It says so right on your arm, babe.
Yeah.
Right on your arm. You got
But then apparently a friend of hers who was already waiting to get a tattoo or had already decided to get a tattoo went to this same shop a couple of days later and got one. I'm guessing they had another miraculous opening in that schedule.
Opened up. That window
I just had a cancellation.
Opened up. Hey, come on in. So how do they charge? By the word, by the letter?
No, it's like something that small. It's just a minimum fee. Their minimum fee is like $85, which I had balked at. I thought 100 was cheap.
Man, I know.
It takes 5 minutes.
Seriously?
Yeah. It takes them longer to set it up than for something that small.
Yeah. Were you walking out and looking at us saying, you change your mind? You want to go back and get it taken off now? That's forever. That's forever, babe. You know that, right? Well,
they give you how to care for it brochure. You can't soak it in a tub for a week or so because it could force the ink out.
Okay.
I guess that's your option right there.
That would be wrong, right? I mean, just now you got smeared. I guess that's why. Do they make you sign? They have to, right? They have to make you sign all kinds of.
Oh yeah, and you can't go in there drunk or anything.
Yeah, I may think that would be your market, right? That would be.
Why else are tattoo shops open till 2 or 3 in the morning?
Are there still tattoo shops on Bourbon Street? There weren't there? I'm trying to remember.
If not on Bourbon, there's got to be one
enough.
Close.
Yeah, because I want to say and it's been a while. Because even the last time I went to New Orleans, we didn't go near Bourbon. Yeah, I can remember walking by these places thinking, man, they got some really good decisions made on this street.
Right, that's how to call a place bad decisions.
Oh man, there you go. you don't even remember where you are, right? All right, let's sit down and get this moment documented. But there you go. So hope she's happy with it. I would have gone with choose Juan myself. I think that was. You just got to change 3 letters. I mean, she was, you know what I'm saying? Like it was already there.
Well, if ever she decides to not choose joy anymore, that's you could do that fairly easily on a cover up.
That's what is it? That's what Johnny Depp did with he had a tattoo that said Winona Forever. Remember that? He was dating Winona Ryder back in the old days, and then they broke up, so he had to change to just Wino Forever. Worked for him.
Hey, worked for him, man.
Worked for him.
I'm sure it's not all that inaccurate.
Good deal. But we're talking about New Orleans, so and this is how it works out, right? So I'm going to I got an event in Louisville this week, and then the next day it's going to be interesting. I've never flown into Lafayette.
Oh yeah, that's.
I mean, it's sort of. I want to say it's not sketchy. It's a United Express flight.
No, but I think my guess is I've passed by the Lafayette.
I know where it's at.
It's mostly like UPS.
Exactly. But apparently there's a few commercial. But here's my concern. So I got to get from Louisville to Lafayette. Now, the only way to do it is to fly back to Houston. So I'm going to be flying back here. Like I'm going to have my car parked where I'm landing with a maybe 45-minute gap to get on a plane to go to Lafayette. So I'm hoping all that runs on time. Also, when I land in Lafayette, like the Hertz rental place where I'm renting a car, they close about the time my plane lands. So you're
flying to Lafayette to drive to Thibodeau?
No. I got to speak in Lafayette on Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I actually have a speech. I have some work. And then after that, I'm going to.
Oh, what time, man? I may pop in.
That would be great.
I'll bring Joey. She can flash to choose joy.
I gotta find out. It's I'm at it's called the City Club. It's place that some bankers want to meet. So I'm sure it's pretty nice.
So I've been to City Club in Lafayette.
There you go. That's where I'm appearing there. I'm appearing there on Friday. Covered, no cover charge, I don't think. So I've got all these things in my head, like what happens if I miss the flight, if it's delayed. But okay, then I gotta come home and then drive to Lafayette on Friday morning from early. It's a 4-hour drive from here. So just all these, I wish I had a little bit more of my younger son who just his plans are extended to like maybe this afternoon, and then those aren't firm. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, what happens? It's right. I'm stressing out a week in advance about flights I haven't missed yet. Right. And
you're a planner.
Yeah. Well, I like having that little flow chart in my head, like where you kind of do the thinking beforehand. So
right, you graph it out. If this happens,
exactly. If this is what I'm going to tell this one or whatever, or if it's this time of night, okay, then I guess I'll just stay. I
mean, worst comes to worst, do you have time to drive to Lafayette?
Yeah, it'll suck, but I'll probably have to leave, roll out of here around 6 a.m., which is not. I've done that before, but so it'll be interesting. So I do that, but this is what I was telling you, the kicker. So I'm like, well, I'm down here, and we don't get to see. Well, I see my mom every now and then, but my son's been in Thibodeau for this whole semester. We've seen him once. Like, a few weeks ago, we went to New Orleans and whatever. So I'm like, I'll pop in. I actually texted him teasing, like, hey, good news. We can spend all day Saturday. I'll help you study for your upcoming finals. I said, unless you can show me that you're passing everything, and then we'll just get some beer, and he's like, oh, and but then he texts me like the next day, oh, I forgot to tell you, I got friends coming in, I guess from Houston, and then they're going to New Orleans. Like, well, so nice. Yeah, well, that's how life works, right? You go like, all right, yeah, I'm kind of cool, I was like, all right, but then, well, you and I were talking about, and this is where you don't want to be overbearing dad, but I don't mind being overbearing dad. I mean, it's just coaching about, all right, this is New Orleans now. This ain't the New Orleans from when I was a kid, babe, and we went and my mom made a fried chicken lunch because there was no Popeyes wasn't big back in the day. We actually had picnic lunches at Audubon Park and went to the zoo, and you'd have kids. We'd walk down Cafe Du Monde, and you did the French Quarter, and there wasn't as many.
No, you could cruise during the day, even into the early evening.
100%. Everybody was cool. It wasn't. I saw the thing came up. Somebody shared it on, I guess it was on Twitter yesterday, man. New Orleans, and it's not even close. New Orleans is really putting some. If it was a race, New Orleans is really putting some separation between first and second place when it comes to homicides per capita.
Right. We're number one and widening the gap.
I mean, look, New Orleans is not resting on its laurels. It's like, we made it through June, July, leading the country in homicides per capita. We're not going to let up now.
Right. Yeah. We eat our dust.
Latoya, we could do it for you. So, so that's the thing, right? You start.
Yeah, but I've had the same thing. My son went to school in Alabama, and then all the friends who aren't from here think, oh my gosh, they're close to New Orleans. That's a great place. We can go visit him there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is. And I think they might get a little what was the word? Not distracted, but a little fooled by the weekends they spend with us when we go, because we go with our friends.
Right.
And here's a hint. We can afford stuff.
Yeah. You're spending money. You're spending money on the nice.
And we know exactly. We know, hey, we ain't going there. We ain't going there. Eating like, that's how I look at it. It's like, there's certain ways
you make good decisions based on life experience.
Exactly. And, we can live like a king for a weekend. You know what I'm saying? Right. They got some people that have that lifestyle that's 24/7. Okay. I don't know how you do it. Actually, I think I start seeing that after a while, because you go and you're having so much fun. You realize, man, if you did this every day or even every weekend, it'll kill you. I mean, it's like, this is too much, but so they're spoiled by that. But we'll see. I mean, you got some smart, some smart friends. So hopefully they'll,
when my son was in school, I like to follow the college parents' Facebook pages, just to see how oblivious they are to life. The
college
parents, or how, they're not even helicopter parents. They're pretty much like in their back pocket. But
Okay.
anyway, so he was in a fraternity and they had an event in New Orleans. And apparently, like any bunch of college guys, you get a hotel room. It's like, well, there's 2 beds in here. All right, we can fit 18 of us. Well, the hotel got wind of that, so a number of them got booted out of the hotel.
Yeah.
Their bus was traveling back the next morning. It was a Saturday night event, and parents are posting on this page saying, well, they're just going to hang out all night in the quarter. That should be okay, right? And I'm like, whoa. Yeah, that's perfectly safe.
What they gonna do? Are they gonna go swimming in the Mississippi just to freshen up in the morning? Because that's about it. Tell you what, going swimming in the Mississippi River is going to be safer. Going to be safer than thinking you're gonna hang out in a quarter all night. Now, look,
you might be fine.
Look at it this way. I mean, you're just playing the numbers. Every weekend, more people don't die than die. Okay,
you could be on the positive side of that.
How much of an optimist you want to be about this? Even people in the quarter overnight, more make it through. But I don't know that I'd want to introduce myself. I treat it this way. It used to be, you like being top of the food chain, right? That's why humans, we got to the point of, that's why you go out in the woods, man. Hey, it's game on, scary as all get out, because unless you're heavily armed and ready, even if you're armed, like, I'm sorry, certain, if it's bears and I got friends up in Tennessee. He's got this massive, beautiful place, and he sends videos and stuff of these bears, black bears. They ain't cuddly, y'all. I mean, like, right. And so that's my thing.
Winnie the Pooh.
And they're smart, and they can get aggressive if they, if you corner them or get them the wrong way. Or the other thing too, man, there's nothing more dangerous, y'all. This is wildlife tips from Dave and Juan. There's nothing more dangerous than if you're out somewhere and you see baby cubs.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
they're not traveling alone.
No, that is danger. They're so cute. Yeah, and there is death close by. Like there's a 300 muscular ball of death that is watching those cubs. Don't get between the mama bear bringing death, and because no. So anyway, I was talking about French Quarter. It used to be you wouldn't fear, you relax.
You just use basic good sense.
Now, when I'm in areas like that, I'm like, I felt that not the same, because it was middle of the day. Okay, which doesn't mean something sometimes, but middle of the day, I'm driving through Los Angeles, a couple 3 weeks ago. And I thought that, like, I feel like I'm back in the food chain, like there's predators around here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm,
you probably I would assume an animal would choose something that looked healthier, cleaner.
I'm in a rental car. I've got on a jacket, suit, and if it's a rental car, hey, chances are this guy's not armed. He had to fly in here. He don't, right? So, anyway, so
you're better quality of victim.
Mess around and find out, bro. That's what. No. Well, so anyway, so I'll try not to pound too much fear in them, but I don't mind pounding a little bit. Like, hey, keep your head on a swivel. All right.
We had, for lack of a better word, a conference, vendor conference, and customers this week.
For lack of a better word, that's kind of funny you said. What's a better word than conference?
Oh, I don't know. I guess.
What's a better word?
It's where we had the gas station gourmet who came out and spoke.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good. But so I had to get there. It was Thursday morning at a casino hotel here in Baton Rouge. So I had to get there Thursday morning at 4:30 a.m. I had to get there at 5. But I couldn't sleep, so I said, "What the heck? I'm going."
Were you in charge of cooking breakfast? I mean, were you?
No,
what you doing at 5 o'clock in the morning?
The hotel overbooked, or we typically get in the room the night before, the conference room, for the vendors to set up.
Okay.
Well, the room wasn't available the night before, so they had to set up pre-conference beginning at 5 a.m. And
Whoa.
so someone on my team was going, and I try to not be that guy that says, all right, well, you handle that. Thank you for, we're going to do this. And by we, I mean you.
Yeah, that's right.
So I figured I'd go too. But I was up at, I left my house at 4. And without thinking, so I'm walking from the garage to the hotel, and he's like, smoking dope out here.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then I look into the stairwell, and it's people wrapped in blankets smoking dope. So I guess there's homeless people staying in the stairwell of the parking garage. So that's kind of nice. Good morning.
Which hotel was this? This is the
Laberge.
Laberge.
I never know if I'm saying right.
Laberge. Yeah,
so
they're one of the. I don't know if they still have them. I always noticed between, I always come in on I-10 and 90, but I think it's the stretch around Lake Charles, Laberge.
Yeah.
So all billboards are either casinos or attorneys.
Period. Or attorneys, yeah.
Period.
Here they're mostly attorneys.
Big truck.
Get Gordon.
Big truck accidents. That's it. That's
Yeah.
So,
but as I'm walking in, I see a few people walking out, and it's not like people who are checking out of the hotel going, catch your flight.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, who's here this early in the morning? And there are some people who obviously, I say obviously, it looks like they had hired entertainment for the evening. And maybe we're walking their entertainment. Yeah,
they were conference goers.
Out.
They were conference goers, escorting their friends.
Right, they're new friends.
They're new friends.
Yeah, who had them nice wigs on, and I'm saying, man, it's really really cold in this place. You don't have a jacket.
They're new. Yeah. Well, man, there you go. That's a way to start your morning, bro.
Yeah.
That's an eye opener. We've talked about that before. Like all the times I used to be in Las Vegas for certain things, and I'd have to be there early because we were doing these events. It'd be like, starts at 9, starts at 8 sometimes, breakfast, and you show up at these casinos at 7 o'clock in the morning. And there's no happiness. There's no like, you looking around this place. It's not a bunch of people who are just having such a good time. They were just having so much fun and winning so much money. They just decided, you know what? I'm never leaving. This is the best place ever. That's not what you see, man. You find a lot of stuff.
I rode down in an elevator with some guy, and so I just said, "Hey, what floor?" And he said 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. The odds of winning money at Laberge are none. I said, "Rough night, bro."
Rough night, bro. That's when you need to have like a life coaching session with a guy like that and say, okay, I want to point something out to you. You and I are on this elevator together. I gambled nothing. Look at the happiness on my face. Look at this. Look at the contentment, right? My wife is so happy she choose joy on her wrist. That's the life I'm living right now.
What's your wife gonna say when you get home at 5 o'clock in the morning?
When your broke butt shows back
up.
Right,
you're gonna break out that little poem to her?
That's right, honey. Okay, bad news is I lost the rent. Good news is I came up with this catchy poem. really impressed my elevator friend. But it's one. Look, man. So hey, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800. That's my favorite. Stuff is addictive when they flat out don't care. They make them advertise that it's bad for you and how to stop, and nobody cares. It's like pack of cigarettes. They get to the point of pack of cigarettes where it's not even hardly the label anymore. It's just all the stuff that will kill you. Right? Wait a minute. This is just great. Looks like you froze there, my man. He's not moving. Oh, well, we may be taking a break a little bit early here today, but let's see. I'm just doing this mostly for the audio. Those of you that are missing the the video feed, Juan's just kind of frozen, looking.
Okay.
Oh, dude. That was the highlight of the podcast was the last 30 seconds. I was just
you were frozen on my end, so it's got
but they're not going to see that. They're not going to see that.
Thanks, appreciate that.
No, I carried it, man.
I'm sitting here saying, "Stop talking about me. Stop talking about me."
Oh no, I was talking about you, but no, in a good way, man. It was very. You're going to be impressed with. You got stuck at a good
Nice.
time. It wasn't like mouth open and nothing. It was sort of like, the look you have when I'm telling something that it's obvious of importance. Just pretty much everything comes that I'm saying, and you have that
Yeah.
look of like you're trying to like. I think
Piqued interest.
what you're physically doing is telling the audience, you guys should be listening to this.
All right.
This
Total
is what
engagement.
this is what you should be doing. And so that was there. I mean, you may want to clip that part out and use it for future headshots because it looks professional. You got the mic in front of you, and we're kind of jumping around on that. We're talking about the mic in front of. We didn't really talk much about this last week. You had mentioned it about the possibility, I guess, or maybe we did, about doing a radio show at KNSU.
We talked about that off air.
We did off air. Yeah, that I was giggling thinking about that the other day. I think you ought to do it just because you could literally say, man, we got a grandpa with a radio show on a college station on the weekend.
Well, this is the whole thing I wonder about if I did it. And since it would just be like a pre-recorded thing. And my one question I would have to ask is, do I have to pretend to be like a college kid?
No,
or
of course not.
I don't know.
I would say not. I mean, I don't know. They can't do that. Yeah,
I'm hoping I don't sound like a college kid anymore, but then I guess I sounded like this in college. So
yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. I wish there were recordings. I listened to recordings of myself back at like KBAU and stuff, and it's sort of the same. You kind of like it's.
I have one, I think, of the college station, and still I got to find it. I think I've narrowed down the location to somewhere at my parents' house where it's some stuff from us on KBAU.
I would hear old clips. I would just hear old
wrestling match and stuff.
Oh yeah. I would hear old clips and just say, okay, slow down, man, slow down.
Yeah,
bro, you're talking too fast. Slow down. Yeah. As you get older, it becomes easier to slow down.
Mm-hmm. So
we're not formulating thoughts. It just takes longer for it to come out. That thought is
talking about things, of the past or the Bayou area. So after our event at the casino, we had a post-conference event at Top Golf.
Man,
so headed out there. I was so tired. Last night I was still exhausted. I could have gone to bed at 6 o'clock.
So this was all day yesterday?
This is all day Thursday, but I was still like exhausted. But so one of the good things is because my name was the point of contact on the contract for Top Golf, is all of the people there kept coming to me to make sure I was okay and that I need a drink at this point.
Well, okay, I didn't want to go into that, but I was to say, like you said, you're tired, but now granted, this is not life advice, kids. Okay, but I was about to say, you do drink, right? I mean, like if I'm tired, end of the day, like that Top Golf, yeah, man, I'm give me a beer, give me wine.
Oh yeah, no. So I had the steadiest flow of because I had the direct contact to the
Gotcha.
But we also, part of the package that we purchased or whatever, included the golf pro. Who knew Top Golf had a golf pro?
I did not.
Who walks around and will give golfers advice. Dude's last name was Semino.
No way.
Yeah. So, and he had relatives around where I'm from. But the first thing he said was, "Your last name's Semino, right?" Just, yeah. He said, "Are you from Cutoff?"
No. No, he didn't.
Yes.
No, he didn't.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, Cutoff. I said, "Bro, of all the places to pick."
You should have said, "No, I'm from Bald Knob." Watch last week's episode. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I said, "No, but Dave is."
Oh, that's
who's
funny.
Dave? I said, "Oh, I thought you were talking about my podcast." So
I just assumed everybody here knew.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, it's a little dangerous when people start discovering it. I get people saying, "Hey, man, you do a podcast?" No, I don't. No, I don't. Yes. Trying to keep that world separated. No.
Then to cap off that whole long day that started with the people smoking dope in the stairwell
with their friends. Oh, no, other people with their friends. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm driving down, coming into my neighborhood, driving down my street. And it's now about 10 o'clock. To me, it seems like it's got to be the middle of the night.
It's 4 in the morning. Yeah.
But it's still 10 o'clock. There's
a long
couple there's this couple walking in the middle of the street in matching white silky pajamas
On your street.
on my street.
Is this before the gates or after the gates?
This is after the gates. This is
So
like
this is
leading
in
up
your
to my
neighborhood.
house. Yeah, yeah.
There's a couple couillon shoes in
Yeah.
your neighbor, in your, hang on a sec, in your gated
Right.
community.
Right. So, like the old style or TV pajamas, he's got
Doesn't matter. They're outside in their pajamas. What's that? What's that?
They're Asian, so I don't know if that matters, but
Oh, that matters a lot, actually.
I couldn't tell their age.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
If somebody's doing that in Leeville, you got an issue. You probably got a meth deal or something going on. No, if you got it's Asian, it's probably, yeah.
They were at peace though, because I said, oh well, they don't hear me coming up behind them, so I flash the bright lights.
Yeah, you can think I'm making this up. I'll probably
blew the horn, and you would think that the guy would give you the friendly, oh my bad, bro, I didn't see you, wave.
No,
just kind of quietly peruse to the side.
10 o'clock at night, you're in the freaking road in your PJs, and you acting like I'm the one that's got an issue. Okay, yeah, no, I love people like that. I love that. We talked about this. I did this the other day, coming out of church. It does me no good coming out of church sometimes when you should be peaceful. You should be, you just did something right. And man, I'm in the parking lot half the time. If somebody lets you cut in, you wave. You give them
the friendly wave.
Give them the friendly wave. Man, it's these bjorks that don't acknowledge. It's like, I want to just, if it wasn't damaging my car, I had to deal with it. I want to bump them saying, wait. You didn't even acknowledge that I did not have to. There's no rule on here that said I had to let you go. Out of the kindness of my heart, I stopped to let your inconsiderate, unappreciative butt get in. Kindness of my heart. Now I should drag you out the car and beat you on the parking lot in front of
on the steps of the church,
in front of all these churchgoers to make a point. Y'all, when somebody lets you cut in,
you give them the friendly wave, bro.
You give them the waves. Not asking much, just give them the wave. But
I caught up with a guy the other day who he was in my blind spot, and I cut into his lane, and I was cutting into his lane when he blew the horn. I caught up to him at an intersection to make sure he saw my bad, bro, wave.
Well, there you go. And hopefully he's not.
Yeah, hopefully he was okay with.
Hopefully he hasn't been, loading the chamber while that was happening. But
but I get the same at church. We have a lot of people who have to back into a spot. I don't know if you're one of those people.
Well, get there early. If you're gonna do that, you got to get there early.
But there's 50 cars behind you. I go to a large church, and you're gonna back in. And I got the big old, or somebody driving a big old SUV, and it's like, bro, if you can't back it in one shot, don't back it in.
I'm so glad.
So you're sitting there and you want to just blow the horn and say, you don't see me behind you.
my older son who sings regularly at church, he takes his own car, and I was joking, we're creatures of habit. He always parks in the same spot, and it's never close. It's like, and it's not in the shade. It's not whatever. It's like, I always want to ask him, bro, you here before everybody else. You can park anywhere in this massive parking lot. But I guess when he first started, that's where he parks. So I said, man, I could always tell if you were here, because that's if the car's not in that spot, out in the sun, out in the rain, there's trees you could park under. But thankfully,
I figure you get here early, you want to get out early.
And thankfully, my wife's had her car. She still likes her car, but she's had it long enough that we're not quite as ridiculous about where we can park it. Right? For the first 6 months, no, park here. She's assessing the other cars in the parking lot to decide how much they care about whether or not they hit you on the way out or throw the door open. Right? That was there you go. And we'll find out how smooth that transition was. So we're talking
I totally forgot what we were talking about.
You got neighbors, you got Asian neighbors in the street. With it's all good. You can think I'm making this up. So yesterday, so my older son is he's in a professional play. It's kind of cool. They actually got
Nice.
TV ads running in Houston stuff, and he's not a big player in it. He's it's for his first kind of
start somewhere,
first professional gig, and it's weird, man. It's like actually they're selling a bunch of tickets and they're not cheap. It's weird. That's like, wow, this is actually legit stuff. And
are you going multiple times?
yeah, they're going to start. I'm going to be in Louisiana for the first one though. So it starts, I guess, in a week or so from now. But they've been practicing for a bit. It's interesting. It's like, yeah, it's a big to do, but Cinderella, by the way. But where it is, what's great about it, what I like about it, this is bad. So it's in a part of Midtown Houston, and they got some cool pubs and stuff right next to it. So I've taken to the thing on like Fridays when I got some free time, and if my wife can get off, like, hey, let's just, instead of Jesse, he drives himself all the time, let's just drop him off and we'll go hang out. And I told him, I said, dude, I said, I'm gonna come do some serious tailgating for these plays, man. I mean, it's just like, it's great. It's like,
Are you gonna wear like your Cinderella T-shirt and stuff, so they know what team you're pulling for?
If they sell them, I will, bro. I think my it's true. It's funny. You got a little life in the arts. So I think the last role he played was in college. He was Don Giovanni. He was the star. I mean, he was the title role in Don Giovanni. Now, granted, this play was already cast by the time he got out of school, so he didn't even try out for it. They just, somebody knew him and asked him to be on it. So now his role, he plays, it's a mouse, a horse, and a what's the Cinderella?
Multi-talented dude.
Yeah, what's the Cinderella stuff? They turn do they turn like mice into groom
pumpkin golden, like the mice, I think, turn into the horses.
Okay, so he's that,
to pull the golden carriage. It's possible.
And then there's something else. He's one other. So just kind of funny. I said, man, that's kind of cool, dude. You go from Don Giovanni to a horse. All right,
man. Yeah,
Rich.
Start off. Yeah.
And what I'm absolutely thrilled with is there are two different places that you could take the old football game we played when you made a little football, you kind of kick through there. There's not a lot of range on those things. You could probably from the theater steps do that and hit the first pub. It's perfect.
You could score.
Oh man, listen, I'm just like, dude, this is the best. So I mean, if I don't have to travel, I will gladly chauffeur you every day.
Right. That as long as he continues to be a part of that Houston arts community,
look, we were doing that yesterday, and then I was because we did that. We had a few hours, so my wife and I had fun just going up and down that little strip, and great evening. But I was joking about that because they have some lofts right there in Midtown. Right. I said, dude, if we could just justify a reason to get you one of these. That would be great.
See, you could yell out the window at to the people going to the play. That horse should be Prince Charming, bro.
He should, no doubt. He should. Yeah, he'd be the best vocalist horse you ever heard. He's but that,
I didn't know that. Who's that? I thought about him the other day. Opera singer, the blind guy.
Oh, Bocelli.
Yeah, Bocelli, it's something. Yeah, that's him. He's coming to New Orleans.
Oh yeah, there you go. I'm sure he's good. I mean, yeah, he knows all that stuff. Yeah. I know Pavarotti. I actually got a Pavarotti song on my on Spotify on one of my playlists. Wait, what is it called? I forget which. It's the famous one. I'm cultured, bro. I'm cultured.
It's the one that everybody knows.
It's the one everybody knows.
Yeah, I think they had it on that death metal mix at the tattoo shop the other day.
Yeah, man. No, no, I'm kind of stuck. Now, for those of you who, I'm sorry with this, but this was again. What is it? Because it's annoying me now. I remember when Pavarotti died, like, was it 10 years, 15 years ago, whenever it was. It's been a while. And I guess it was a big deal. I actually kind of got into it because a couple of they were playing, and I don't know, just so I went through a stretch where I was like listening to Pavarotti. And
I mean, I love music. It's not anything that's on my playlist, but I certainly could enjoy it.
Bruh, I'm cultured, me. I got some culture. What is it? Turandot, yes, 91, Act 3, Nessa. What is it? Hang on.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. Nessun Dorma. If my son was here, he'd be like, you idiot. Say that right. nice, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That could be when you have trouble sleeping at night. That could soothe you to sleep.
It could. I listen to this in the gym sometimes. Yeah, let me get to the big part here. Hang on a second. There is it. You can translate this for us, Juan?
Yeah. I would, but that takes away some of the
right here.
The intimacy of it.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Yep. He does it just like me. Just like me.
It sounds like somebody is just going through heartbreak.
Oh man. Actually, I think he was singing about his trawl net tearing. I want to say that was
there you go, heartbreak.
It was that or something about Teds. No Teds. I'm not 100% sure about my Italian, but I'm pretty sure he was singing about something like that,
Turtle excluder devices.
There you go. For those of you outside of the core market, there's a turtle excluder device that was the bane. Is the word bane? It's the
bane of shrimpers' existence.
I just love when we use words that we're not 100% sure what they mean.
Right.
But if you say them,
bane, that's right.
If you say it with confidence, people say, "Bro, I don't even think that's the right way to say it," but he said it like he meant it. So,
look, if it were to equate that to today's times, shrimpers could have been nudist extremists.
Oh, geez.
To fight over these turtle excluder devices.
Well, let's not go there. That story, for those of you, we beat that story to death last week, as everybody else did, and it hasn't gotten any more clear in the past week.
But if you saw what was, and not to go down that road, but if you saw what was deleted from the Today Show podcast or yesterday, the story about that, your assessment was.
I think I had it. I think I had it. I think I pretty much kind of nailed it. And the fact that they won't show any video of anything. Come on.
Yeah, I regularly have intruders in my house hanging out for 30 minutes before.
And when the cops get there, I open the door and walk back.
It's all good, bro. Come
on
in.
All good. I'm gonna go get myself hit with a hammer. All right, we're not gonna go down that path.
No.
But that's so. I was saying this before. You can think I'm making this up. So we're in Houston, my wife and I, and we just gotten there. It's probably 5:30. Just settling in. Went to this place. It's first place we went to. I'm not gonna give the name, but it's I don't want to call it a hipster kind of place. The unfortunate thing is, it's in a part of town that's just, let's just say, it's about as blue will get. When I say blue, I don't mean like dirty. I mean, political spectrum. Let's put it this way. All right. Ted Cruz ain't got a vote on this block. Okay. I mean, like, and
he'd probably get heckled.
It's fine. Right. And some of the, I just love some of the political signs that they're not just like current political. They're like painted on the wall kind of political, like people that are just like living, and you just want to just walk up to people and say, life is not fun if all you ever doing is, virtue signaling about how, okay. So I know going into this, but here's the downside. A lot of these people that I probably would not really like or get along with, they sell good beer. So you kind of just go, you'll grin and bear it. But, so we get in there, and it's like I call it a hipster. I don't even know if they call it hipster stuff anymore, but it's a little area inside, nice outside area. And, I joke with my wife, let's go be the old people here, and I don't know. There may have been a few other folks within my range, but it's probably the oldest dude in there.
Yeah. A lot of bikes, or a lot of people ride their bikes there.
I don't know. No, this is, I can't say that. I did not
the ones
see
like that here. You'd say it's got a lot of bike traffic there.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot of yeah. And my wife kind of laughs at me, and I say she laughs. Maybe she laughs not to scream at me when I start almost some. I don't want to call it a tirade, but I start commentary. I can't help it. I'm sitting there in the middle of this, area. She and I sipping on a beer was it some Imperial Stout for those of you that are keeping score at home. And I just just looking around and just commenting on everybody, like, look at that guy right there. What do you think he does? Just and then I stepped back and said, here's what's interesting. I said, I promise you, the only reason that this can exist is because there are other people that are in charge of actually, keeping things safe and keeping things. It's one of these, you could just tell it's one of these places that, let's put it this way. I'm going to guess cops aren't welcome kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of one of these, oh, why would you arrest anybody for that? You just get that vibe, right?
Right. If they beat that guy and robbed him, it was because they just had a hard life.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just compounding the problem.
How dare you? How dare you? And we had that's the other thing too. I mean, I don't know that it's an old person thing as we get older, as I get older, because I think I've probably always been this way. Man, like a bartender or something. All I ask for is friendly. I don't even care if you're competent. Like, if you're nice and you don't know a lot, okay, but you're nice. But we walk up there the first, and I got, like I said, you ever been around me? I drink. Whenever I am drinking beer, I like stuff you can't see through it, right? Like that's the perfect beer to me. You cannot see your hand on the other side of the glass. That's what I like. My wife doesn't like that, so she's of course tis to see something with pumpkin. That's the funny thing too, right?
Beer with pumpkin.
Oh yeah. Pumpkin, and I think they might have like a yam beer or something. I don't know. Dude, these marketers know what they're doing. They just, it's October. Got to be an Oktoberfest. It's November. It's got to be pumpkin. And so we ordered whatever from this person. And so my wife walks up there, and there's a chart, if you look at the menu and then there's numbers. So I knew mine was easy to find. She couldn't find hers on the thing. There's only one beer that has pumpkin in it. Right. There's only one. So she says, yeah, I want the pumpkin, whatever. And this 20-something-year-old, multiple beers tatted up, whatever, just looks at us like waiting on her to figure out what it is. Like that's, you need more than that. You need more than we have to identify it. Like, wait, we have to go through this big chart right here.
You see, here's a little English lesson. Your title is server. The root word of server would be serve.
Or hey, at least smile. At least like, here's the deal.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm new here. I don't know what everything's called. Let's look at this menu together.
She didn't walk up and say, hey, I would like the beer that's got a slightly orangey color to it. You may have seen it. No. She told you, I want the one that's got pumpkin in it. You got one. And the thing is, even then, it's like if she doesn't know, say that, because I didn't.
Yeah, I would be willing to bet you could write down on your ticket, server, pumpkin beer.
I didn't.
The one with pumpkin in it.
Yes, I did, and I didn't do it specifically because my wife was with me, and she would have given me grief because she always thinks that I'm being whatever. But in my mind, and what I wanted to say when she did that was, "Oh, first day? It's your first day here? Oh." And the key when you do that, you got to do it in a way that you like are really playing it up like you think it is. Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's your first day. Well, good for you. Good for you. Oh no, you've been here a while. Wow, you've been here a year.
Oh.
Wow, haven't learned that menu yet. Yeah, nice. But it's just little things. I got nothing else to do besides having the job that I want to just walk around tapping people on the shoulder and saying, hey, look, I've been watching you for a little while.
Yeah.
Let me give you just a
little life coaching right here.
Little life coaching, man. Let me turn up your results. Let me help you right here.
Right. See, I'm going to go to Spanky's Daiquiri on the way to the game today. And I'm going to order an attitude, which is, it's every daiquiri shop around here has some version of that.
It's called an attitude.
I think it's I think Spanky's calls it an adjustment.
An adjustment. Okay.
But no matter where, I just call it the attitude.
And
they know what it is.
They know what it is. They know what it is. But Juan,
not gonna apologize, not gonna say,
I
don't know what it is.
You're also the guy standing there with the money. That's how this works.
Exactly.
And I'm not being a true. I'm like, okay, I don't know the name. I don't know your menu. Apparently you don't either. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Once you pay me,
why are you judging me? Why are you judging me? I just looked at the menu for I haven't been in this place in 5 years. I'm looking at a menu, right? And we're describing to you, right? You work here. You should know this, right?
Yeah, my kids will always in those type of situations. They'll say, "Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't say anything,"
Oh,
because
I
they know
know.
it's coming.
I know. I'm sorry. You gotta say something.
Yeah.
I know you
love
will.
to tell people. I
know
love to
you
tell
will.
people who won't say thank you when I hand them my money. I say, "You're welcome."
Oh, who was I with the other day? Oh, we did that for Halloween, man. We did all kinds of coaching for Halloween. We're out on the driveway, and my neighbor, just like backyard neighbor, we've been doing this. I mean, she said she thinks it might be almost 15 years. It's been a long time we've been doing this. We set up a tent and pretty good food and get set up, and he makes some ribs and yeah, we hang out and put the buckets out there on
You
the
make it
driveway.
easy on the kids because you combine multiple houses into one.
Parents can come; they don't even have to get off the sidewalk. They just step into the driveway. Parents love it. They're all like, "Oh, this is great!" And I got my Halloween mix on the big, huge jam box in the yard. Not too close where you can't hear people talking, but we got.
You used to be a DJ or something,
dude, man. I guarantee you walking by my house certain times, man. When's the last time you heard Janet Jackson, Black Cat? Black Cat. Da, da, da. That's a Halloween song, bro. I'll tell you that right now. Werewolves of London, the cool stuff, right? Time Warp, Rocky Horror, all that stuff. That's all playing. Got it. But yeah, we're doing the same thing. We're always impressed by the kids that are very, and my neighbor, he's fun. He's the guy. He's a fan of the Second Amendment, and he's the one that's also like shot and skinned squirrels and fixed them for his dogs. I mean, that's that guy. And we don't live in the country, y'all. Like, none of that's legal. We don't live in the country. But yeah, it's kind of funny. We're about halfway through the night, and he made a funny comment because I don't know what he was drinking, but it wasn't super stuff. But he just halfway through the night, he says, "I'm being told to shush a lot tonight." You know what's that like? Both your wife and my wife are telling me to shush a lot. And I'm like, you probably ought to shush. You probably, but he's that way. And like he said, "What do you say? What's the magic words, man?" Trick or treat. Yeah, you go. Nice. And then when somebody was like a kid, whatever come by, he was going out of his way. "Thank you, young man. We love your manners." And it's like, you're overplaying it now, dude. Right. But yeah, I know. That's like, you don't ask much. Like, here's some free, look, man, here's what it is. We bought this and it's free and it's right there. And we were actually sitting right in front of you as we say, "Hey,
right,
have at it." And the polite kids who tell them, "Hey, hit that bowl again." You tell them, no, you didn't take enough. You didn't take enough. Yeah, Halloween's just always.
See, it's how it goes at my house. Riley goes outside because I had important things to do. Like post the podcast.
There you go. Sure, it was Monday. Yeah, it was Monday.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's closer to 8, and so it's quieted down. So she's now, she's in the house, or we're done.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I guess the light must have still been on outside.
Oh Lord.
But she sometimes babysits for some kids in the neighborhood, and they will occasionally come by just to knock on the door and say hi and stuff like that. Here's a clue, my neighbors. You can see into my living room from the front door. And if it's dark, I'm sitting there in boxers. And just because you bring your kids to trick or treat at my house and you knock on the door, I'm not getting up.
No.
Nor am I changing.
No.
So come on in.
Wow. Well, so were they still trick or treating? Or they just coming to say hi?
They were both, but she went outside to hand them the candy.
I got you. Yeah. Well, it's like the second or third time I started telling you this, and so we get to this place, right? When I just went off on this rant about the rude bartender person, and as I'm sitting there, I get my ring doorbell alert, front door, and almost nobody comes to my front door. I'm like, punch it up, and great neighbors, love the dude, older gentleman, Ramesh. He's my neighbor. I'm pointing, guys. For those of you that are not there, I'm pointing. He's back here. His house is right there. And he, I guess, what is it? Is it Hindu? I forget I think he's Hindu or whatever, he and his wife. But they wear some, when they go to their services or whatever, I'm flaunting my my worldly
your
knowledge.
your diverse awareness of other people's worship habits.
Bro, I'm Catholic. I can get away wearing shorts on Sunday evenings at one of these masses when it's really hot. But anyway, so I'm looking at my Ring doorbell, and I'm like, he's looking in my window. I'm like, oh man, what's going on? He's obvious. And it was funny because my wife's like, hang on, don't answer. It's going to be, wait, so I didn't know. And then part of me's like, well, I hope like the house isn't on fire. I hope he's not like trying to check in on us. But I'm like, hey, he's probably, and he's in his pajamas. Then I know they're not pajamas. I'm sorry. So I hope that's not disrespectful to whatever, but it's the long flowing, whatever. So back to my beer.
His traditional attire.
Whatever. 30 seconds later, my phone rings. Like, oh man. I never start talking to him. And he's locked himself out of his house. Again. And I'm that neighbor. I got everybody's keys. I'm that guy. I apparently I'm the one that everybody looks at and assesses.
It trusts you.
The older people. In other words, like the younger couples, no, they don't. But like,
he's Cajun, man. We got to trust this guy.
All the elderly neighbors we have, I think I've got their keys hanging on and he starts explaining, and I love the guy for this. And him and my dad, they didn't get to spend much time together, but man, when the short time that they did, man, you better open some windows and let more oxygen in, because look,
they're gonna take it all.
Oh man, like world-class story talking. And so he starts explaining everything to me about how this happened, and I'm like, okay, here's the issue. I didn't say the part about I'm sitting here with my wife drinking a beer. I just said, look, we were in Houston. We're like, Midtown. I said we have an event. We did. It kind of did. It wasn't like, just like, here's what I'm not going to do. It's around 6:00. Houston traffic is horrific.
Yeah.
Like if you told me my house was on fire and I jumped in my car and broke every traffic law, it's still going to take me over an hour to get home at that point. So I'm just like, and I said, well, I'm trying to talk him through this. Like, how is any of the other neighbors there? Can somebody get a screwdriver? Because I bet you I can break into the back of your house. I mean, it's like the deadbolt wasn't.
Yeah, it's a nice evening, man. Go sit on my patio. I got some furniture back there.
Well, I think he does too. But they were going to whatever their whatever event was.
Oh, they were leaving.
So then he ends up. So he says, yeah, they were leaving. So apparently he walked out of the house.
His keys and his car keys.
Yeah, he did. Locked it behind him. So I said, I've got keys to your house and whatever. And he says, well, does anybody have a key to your house? That's all where he was going with this.
Said, yeah, you do.
No. I saw where he was going with this. And I told her like, well, no, not really. No, not. Because I'm like, come on, dude. You think I'm calling friends from another neighborhood to come in? Yeah. Use my code, like literally have to go through the garage code, open my house, turn off the alarm, and then I got it.
So you have a code lock? You could have given him the code
to the garage. Oh. That doesn't get you in the house.
Gotcha.
No, I'm going to fix that going forward. I actually, so somebody picked him up, some friend picked him up, and they all went to their service. And by the time they got back, I left the keys underneath a mat for him, and I told him, I said, we're going to solve that going forward. I'm gonna keep your keys in my garage. I'll show you where they are, and I'll be able to give you the code to the garage. Because I think I'm being a good neighbor. I'm not the kind of neighbor to say, yeah, hang on, let me go get somebody else to come over here to get into my house.
Here's what I would do. I'd say, bro, me and you go ride to Home Depot.
Yeah, it makes me.
I'll show you how to hook up one of these locks on your door so you can key yourself into your house.
Possibly. Well, he's the one. Listen, man, and look, it's great because they're very. That's
pretty smart on your part, man. That's really, not just smart. That's going out of your way.
Oh, listen, but the other.
That's why everybody gives you the key.
That's right. I'm the man. We trust Dave. They just
guess what? I got nobody's house key.
Well, your neighbors know you as well.
Your neighbors know you. Joey has a few, but I don't have any.
Yeah, I got to Well, that's my neighbor right here. So the one I was talking about that was kind of funny. Sharing the driveway. He's saying, "I'm being told to shush a lot tonight." So they went somewhere, spent a couple days, whatever, and they asked some neighbors across the street to watch their dogs, and then I ended up getting a call or a text from him saying, "Hey, could you check on these dogs? Because I don't think the." And then I kind of gave him grief about like I don't even know these people that he sort of left in charge of taking care of his dogs. But in 10 seconds I could have said, "You don't want to give these chews. You're gonna trust these guys to watch your dogs? They don't even
right.
watch
You
their
see,
kids."
maybe he used the term "watch," which to me and you means one thing.
Yeah,
Maybe to them, they just
that
they
means make
looked
sure
at
they're
him and said,
fed.
"Yeah,
Make sure they're
I
fed
saw
and
'em.
have water. Like I'm saying, man, they don't watch their kids. You think they're gonna watch your?
Yeah. I watched them. They look pretty hungry and thirsty."
We did this too, sitting on, and that's when you got to be. That's when I don't know. My wife wasn't telling me to shush as much as I think she might have slapped my arm a few times, because you kind of sitting there having fun on the driveway, and you just, man, all right, we're gonna see some people, and we had this one neighbor. He's kind of new. Now I don't see him much because he's on a cul-de-sac, but not my area. So it's one of those things, right? You can live 30, 40 yards from somebody and really never see them. But my neighbor tell me about, man, this guy. I said, dude, it's so weird. And he's telling me like, what he says, first of all, this guy's always outside without a shirt. Always outside without a shirt. And with this point, Juan, dude, it's gonna be like, I mean, like it ain't like he don't need a shirt. I mean, comical. I'm not gonna put the picture because I actually took one because I was going the other day for something, and before I left, my neighbor said, "Oh yeah, the show's on." So I walk out there and it's like, dang, it's like I'd put a shirt on, bro. I mean, I'm glad you're comfortable with yourself, but I'm not. I think you put a shirt on that.
I used to live next door to a guy who he was from South Africa. And he would stay outside all the time, no shirt, shorts, whether it's cold, hot, rainy, whatever, staying outside with his thumb in the end of the hose, watering his plants in his yard and drinking beer just all the time.
That sounds like a no. Here's my question. What kind of shape was the guy
in? Not great shape to be out. Yeah.
Okay.
He wasn't obese, but he wasn't. Yeah, he was.
Well, no, this guy's shaped like a gourd, like a squash. I'm trying to think of what's the proper
kind of guy who not ought to be not ought to be shirtless in his home.
Probably not, much less out in the cul-de-sac, right? So they're doing this. I'm not making it. You could think I'm making this up. I'm not making this up. So as I'm on a walk, it's kind of a pretty day, and I'm about an hour. I'd go for a walk. My neighbor texts me. Says, "You won't believe what they're doing now." I'm like, all right. He says they're pushing a car up the street. I'm like, oh, I might have broke down. He said, no, this is the second time. They're doing it for fun. They're doing it for fun.
The Alvin Kamara workout.
And he says the 10-year-old is driving the car now. And I'm like, all right, that's going to end when I get there. That's going to end. I was, again, I was on a walk. I was probably a couple miles away. And I'm like, dude, that's going to end when I get, And so they had stopped by the time I got back. Anyway, so I guess it's the next day or 2 days later, we're in the driveway and the group comes through, whatever. And then this guy, and then my neighbor says, "Oh, hey, that's the neighbor over here." And I just looked up and said, "Oh, dude, I didn't recognize you with a shirt on." All right.
You said it?
Oh, yeah, to his face. "I didn't recognize you with a shirt on." "Oh, man, thanks for dressing up. Good deal, man." And then he kind of laughed. He didn't know. I don't think he knew the conversation that we'd been having, but they try to point something out to people like, "Yeah, bro, come on," and pushing a car. And we brought that up. My neighbor said, "What are you doing with his cars?" "Oh, he's gonna get some exercise." Okay, good for you. But anyway, so we'll get my neighbor taken care of there. Let's see what else. We're coming toward the home stretch here. I voted this week.
I like to vote on election day.
I would normally, but I got some stuff going on, and they tell you to do that because it's hard for them to cheat. Because bro, they're getting ready to cheat. Get ready. Hey, here's a hint, y'all. If you live in a state that's saying it takes more than that evening to count, they're cheating. That's all that's going on. That's right. all throughout the history of voting, we all did it. That's called election day, election night. They, they're cheating.
I love the newly coined term election deniers. But oddly, a show that both you and I listened to, I think, guy out of Houston played some clips this week going back to
Michael Berry.
2000. It was
Michael
just Berry. Every time a Republican president has won since the year, beginning of 2000, cheated, denied, didn't count the votes, illegitimate president.
Well, that's sort of, and it's all, we'll see what happens. But by the time we do this again, it can be,
we'll know.
We'll see, but it went, and that's when part of me was like, so my other son is in Thibodeau. And I was like, how can we get him to vote? Like, we should have thought about that. It's like, who looks like him? We can put somebody in there. Now, we wouldn't do that because we're like, we actually follow the laws. The stuff that's coming out now, some of these random surveys they're doing, like, dead people. We used to joke about that. We used to joke about, certain cities, the dead. No, they do. Like, it's amazing how many dead people have signed, and they've been doing that stuff forever. But so we get there, and it's midweek, so it's early voting, and signs are everywhere. Going to walking into this, we vote in a library right here. And there's people out in the street. They got to stay a certain distance away, right? And then walking out. Hey, good to see y'all. For whatever. Don't forget to vote for whatever. And I'm just thinking, I want to turn around and say, look, I was about to vote for that guy,
but now I'm not.
I don't think I am anymore. You don't understand how this works. There's not a soul that's coming here to vote who is being swayed in a positive manner by you yelling, hey, vote for this one, for that. Just, hey, set up a lemonade stand over there, way in the distance.
We've got, and I've talked about this, Baton Rouge, Al Sharpton, who's running against John Kennedy. And his fundraising notes, or he sends out, does social media posts the other day that he needs money contributions for his get out the vote effort. And you want to sit here and say, well, what is your get out the vote effort? Why don't you go ahead and explain that to me?
I'm gonna be trolling the cemeteries, and then I walk out of there, and then another group of people walking in. I looked at my wife saying, "They're gonna cancel our votes right there. That group right there. I'll bet you anything. Our votes." But hey, look, God bless America, y'all. Let's get out. Well, about the time, this airs on Monday, so
on Monday, still got time to go vote.
Hey, go vote. And unless you're
vote your conscience.
Yeah, no, or not. Some of y'all consciences are not,
vote my conscience.
That's right. Email us at daveandjuan.com and, just say, hey, I'm thinking about who should I vote for here? And we'll say, if it was me, this is what I would do.
That's what I'd vote for.
This is what I would do. But, so there you go. Before we get out, there's one more thing. I laughed yesterday. So we're driving into Houston, and there's get behind a pickup truck. Traffic's pretty bad. We're in the medical center area of Houston, and it looks like a plumbing truck or something. It's free. I got a lot of stuff in the back of it, like a work truck. I'm like, okay. And that's good. And then on the side, I'm looking at what the it's called Redeem Learning Center. I'm like, Redeem Learning Center. It looks like a work truck, but apparently they do, I guess, classes and stuff. This is the again, this is the list of things they do. Redeem Learning Center. Plumbing classes. All right. HVAC classes. All right, air conditioning. Electrical classes. I'm like,
all good quality needed trades.
After that, Bible studies, music classes, and English classes.
Man, that's a well-rounded organization right there.
Dude, I like, man, in the numbers there, I'm like, y'all taking applications? I'm good at all that. No, I'm not. Plumbing, HVAC, electrical, Bible studies, music, and English classes. Bro, God bless America.
Can they do like some of the classes while they're doing some of the trade work? No, they're not doing the trade. They're teaching you how to do the trade.
I'm gonna have to call the number to find out. I was that taken by, wow.
And here's what you need to say, bruh, what don't you do?
You didn't have room to put, marriage counseling, baiting a hook to fish. I don't know, but it's all good.
Addiction recovery.
Check them out. All right, man. We're gonna get cut here, whether we want to or not. Gonna push the button, get on out of here. Told you a little bit before. Dave and Juan at protonmail.com if you want to reach us. And there's a plethora of other ways to get there.
Wherever you're watching us, share it and tell your friends.
Everett, just there you go. Tell them. And we'll be back after, sometime next week to sort through it all. Until then, hey, ain't a suggestion. It's not a hint.
No, not
and we ain't subtly implying jack. It's a
mandate.
Freaking mandate. Get out there. Hey, go for it, guys.
Best week ever.
As Rocky told Clubber Lang, go for it. Go for it.
Even if next Tuesday doesn't go your way, which I'm hoping it does, because I'm hoping your way is my way.
That's right.
If you still have the best week ever.
If your way is like the way of the bartender at that place that didn't know which one was the pumpkin beer,
that ain't your way, bro.
That ain't your way, bro.
Change your ways.
Oh, and then when she put our beers down, she wanted to go out of the way to say, okay, this one is the whatever, and this one's the like, and me and my wife both looked at it like, you think you had to tell us that? Like, that one's tar, that one's orangey.
Yeah.
So you'd be surprised the people that, I would be surprised. I would be. I don't think so. All right. All that said, hey, everybody, did we tell them to have the best week of their life? We did.
We just did.
Yes,
it was the mandate.
But I think we just said it's a mandate and we just assumed they knew.
That's what I said. I said, even if it doesn't go your way, you have the best week ever.
Oh, you know what?
You can reemphasize that.
I got to make a note to start listening. That's really
at least listening to me.
Listen, man.
Or not.
All right. Everybody, have a fantastic one. You have fun at the game, bro. Love you, man.
Back at you, dude. So before we run out of time, we're meeting my brother-in-law. We're not meeting. We're just going to end up being in the same place. And his first ex-wife. Because the best part of that story is his most recent ex-wife dropped dead last week. And it's not a fun story for this, but it's funny for me.